This next video has you look at a 2-point perspective. I'm just drawing this on a piece of paper since I've recorded on my copies and I have to re-record. All right, so you're going to start with a horizon line. Your printout has one already. And you're going to select 2 points on your horizon line, left and right. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle, but somewhere either to the left or to the right of center, you're going to place a line that represents your back wall. From the top point and the bottom point of your wall, you're going to use the vanishing points to project the walls out. So this is already done for you in your handout, but you can see what it looks like. You're going to be noticing that I'm using my architectural ruler today to draw. That is not a good habit to get into. These should be reserved for measuring and not for drawing because it destroys the edges of your ruler. But you'll see me pick it up once in a while because I'm at home filming these and I don't have all of my tools, and so I don't have a long straight edge. So you should be using an actual drawing tool instead. So from the corner, I put my straight edge at the vanishing point and I pull out. So now you can see I've created one wall. And now I'm going to go to the opposite side from the point at the top and the point at the bottom. Place my straight edge on the vanishing point on the horizon line and then go through that point to create the back wall. So I've done the first cube for you, and you can draw cubes right on the horizon line, above it, below it, and they're all going to really follow the lines of perspective. But you always will be using either the left or the right vanishing point. Instead of horizontal lines in a 1-point perspective, those are going to go to the left or right vanishing points. But as before, vertical lines are always vertical. So draw your first line. And then just like I drew the wall, let's watch from the top and the bottom of your line. You're going to from the top and the bottom, pull through, pull through. And for the first example, I did go ahead and place the lines for you to draw. And again, just like you've done earlier in the 1-point perspective, you're just visualizing by bringing your straight edge over what looks like a nice cube. So clearly now you have to put a top on your drawing. And this is what gets a little confusing, and this is just something that you want to get used to. So again, this box falls below the horizon line, so you're going to see the top of the box, right? Up here you're going to see the bottom of the box. So I need to put basically a lid on it. So go ahead and place your pencil or your construction tool that you're going to draw with on each of these corners. And quickly you can just kind of visually see that it needs to go this way. And if I put my pencil here, it needs to go this way. So they follow the planes. So you put your pencil here and you see that it needs to go this way. Well, it doesn't go into any random point on your horizon line. It needs to go back to the vanishing point. Now put your pencil here, and you know that it needs to go this way, right? But it doesn't go to any random place, everybody. It needs to go to the vanishing point. Crossed over the edge a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to make the light source coming from this side, and this is for Laura, and maybe it looks a little more cube-like now. So let's do another one. Draw a line, a vertical line. From the left, from the top and the bottom, go to the vanishing points. Now you're going to see that the angle is going to start looking a little different. I'm not going all the way to the vanishing point, but in fact you could. So you could take it all the way over if you want to. And then you're going to take your edge. It's a little easier on this side, so I'm going to do this side first to try to see what looks cube-like. So I have a nice side of my cube. Feels like a nice cube. And now I have to gauge either coming from the side what looks right, or maybe it might be easier from the top. So from the vanishing point, you can also do, what looks cube at my top. And then where it hits the point, comes straight down. So how did I do? Sometimes you can't really tell until you darken it in how you did with your construction lines. But you do get better at it. So now I have 2 cubes. Put one over here. They're not necessarily the same size. If they were the same size, they would be on the same line here. That's the next exercise. We'll do that. Go back to the vanishing point. I'm just not going all the way, but I could. If you don't get it right the first time, you could always draw it again. Meaning drawing your construction lines again. If your first line doesn't look quite right, then just either draw another one to the left or right. I'm thinking it feels pretty cube. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to draw one way up in the sky here. Again, you can go all the way back to the vanishing point with your construction lines. I usually start with the side that I can see the most of to try to make it nice and square. Like clearly that looks too long. Looks too long. So notice I never deviate and I never change vanishing points. So hopefully you can see that that's a cube floating way up high into space. Draw a small one right here. Be consistent. Start with a line from the top and the bottom. Go to each vanishing point. This is getting real close to the horizon line, so I'm only going to see a little bit of the bottom of that. I'm going to start with this side. That looks too big, that looks too narrow. So look to see now when I close this up on the bottom, just that little bit of a sliver I have. So do as many boxes as you feel like you want to. You can do this multiple times. It's always a great exercise just to really start training your eye to which vanishing point you go to. So it's just something that you just are training kind of your hand, eye, brain to work with. And so just think about that. Next week we're going to move from the cube and we're going to start drawing furniture within that cube. So the better you can get at drawing the cubes, the better you will get at drawing furnishings and other objects.